Good morning and happy July, friends. It is currently July 8th. I have no idea what time it is. But I am popping on because, this is the beginning of a new month, a new writing month, and I have a confession to make. I have not written a damn thing, like one singular thing this month. So let's talk about it. Near the end of last month, I actually stopped writing, like maybe the last week of June. I filmed last month's video, I did the recap, and I kind of did the recap knowing that I wasn't going to write that very final week of June heading into July. I think that final week of June was like June 30th, 31st, whatever, ended like midweek, and then July 1st was like right there because then we had July 4th weekend. And so I knew that I wasn't going to write that entire week. And it's interesting because I did all of that work last month of plotting out the second book of Project Magic. And I did all that work plotting out Project Truth as well, or at least during the beat sheets, and figuring out what direction I wanted the stories to go in. However, I kind of realized that, hey, Brittany, you've been working really nonstop for the past 6 months on writing, and I think that you need a break. There was just something inside me that was saying, you need to pause, you need to stop pushing so hard. And not that I was pushing that hard, I was just showing up each morning and writing whatever came to me, but it didn't feel great. And I know that there's advice out there to just kind of stick with it, don't break the chain, continuously show up and do the work and things will come together. And to a certain extent, I do believe that, because we're gonna all have bad days, right? We're gonna have days where we don't want to show up, we don't want to write, but the next day we're gonna regret not writing. This is something different. I was showing up and it just wasn't getting any better feeling. I was just it felt like I was going through the motions, and just I was putting words to the page, and I am proud of the story's direction, but I could just feel my tank running empty. And so as much as I didn't want to break the chain, because this is what I was kind of fearful of with what happened with A Daisy in Lily's Valley, is that I wrote that book, and when I went to publish it, I completely stopped writing. So after I finished the last edits on that, I stopped writing completely with everything. And yes, it was because my attention was focused elsewhere. However, I felt like it really did me a disservice and kind of it set me back from being able to start writing again, because I got the blank page syndrome. I was really freaked out by starting a new story. There was all this pressure around it. Starting that second book was really scary. And so I didn't write for 2 years. I was getting ideas and I'd write them down when they came, but I didn't actually sit down to try to write anything for a good solid 2 years. And so I was just really afraid this time that I didn't want that to happen. I was determined to write every single weekday from now until the day I die, basically. That was kind of my thought process. And obviously that's such a bad idea. Looking back at it now, I'm just like, whoa, that was really lofty of a goal, and I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah, so pressing pause on my work for now has been really scary, but I think that it's absolutely necessary. I'm not feeling super drawn to writing right now. It's only July 8th. It's only been a week and a half since I stopped writing, but there's just so much other stuff that's super important in my life right now that's going on, and I need to attend to that. And I think that there's this stigma out there that if you're not writing every single day, or your focus is elsewhere that's not writing, and writing isn't your top priority, that somehow you are not a writer, not a real writer. And I don't think that that's true. I think that anyone is a writer. If you write at any point in your life, you are a writer. And why do you have to do it every single day? We are multifaceted human beings. We each have contain multitudes. We each have different seasons of our lives that require more or less of us. And right now, I have very clearly entered into a season that is very focused on business and restructuring my business, and that's taking up a lot of brain space. So I was trying really hard to fit everything into every single day, and that's just not conducive to a well-balanced life. I just finished reading Destination Simple by Brooke McAllery, and it's this very short book that I absolutely love, and I come back to it time and time again whenever I'm feeling a little bit of out of sorts. In it, she was talking about balance and how you're not looking for balance every single day of your life. You're looking for balance over the long term. And I really, really like this because she talks about everything that I just said, like that we have different seasons of our lives, that we have different priorities, things come up to the surface that absolutely need to be dealt with right away. And then some things have to drop to the back burner. And that's okay, but she asks you to look over like the past week, the past month, the past 6 months, the past year, and ask yourself, did it feel relatively balanced? Did it feel as if I attended to all the important parts of my life at some point in a roughly balanced way? And I really like that outlook because it gives permission, it gives you permission, it gives me permission to let go a little bit and just go with the flow of our lives and not feel this pressure to be writing every single day and not feel as if you were failing somehow as a writer, as an author, as whatever. And yeah, I don't know. It's really resonated with me. And so all of that is just a very long way of saying that I have not written. And I honestly don't know if I'm going to write in July. Like, this may be a 10-minute video that just explains why I didn't write in July at all. I still haven't felt called to open up any of my documents, but every day of mine has been pretty full. I have lots of stuff that I'm doing, and it's not too full. Like, it's the right amount of full. It feels very much like I can actually carry it without feeling like I'm going to topple over. So that's good. That's always a good sign, because usually I feel the opposite. I feel very much like either nothing is going on and I feel kind of like scared that nothing's going on, or too much is going on and I'm being crushed under the weight of everything. So right now, it actually is the first time in a long time that everything feels balanced. It actually feels balanced. And so I'm just going to keep following that feeling and continue doing what I can each day and reminding myself that I'm just one person and that writing will be here for me when the time is right, when I have more free time. And I could totally see that happening like in a month, or I could see it happening in the fall, September, October come around. And I feel like because my business is going to, like, all the restructuring will have been completed by then, hopefully. Once all the restructuring is completed, I'm going to have a lot more free time, and I'm only going to be focused on sending out like surprise book dates for the holidays, because that's when online sales kind of increase. Like, it's very slow during the summer, which is why I am restructuring right now instead of later. And then in the winter, all I'm really focusing on is I'm not really marketing anything. I'm not marketing my business. People are finding me and I'm just shipping things out. I'm getting things prepared, which leaves a lot of space for writing. Like, I could totally see waking up and writing for the entire morning and then using my afternoons to ship things. So yeah, I guess I'm coming here to say, like, to give myself permission, to give you permission, that if the season is not right for you and your writing right now, that's okay. Like, give yourself time, give yourself the space. There's always going to be more time. There's always going to be writing. Like, you can always come back to it. It's not going anywhere. There's actually this quote that I recently heard from the Jamie C podcast show. She was interviewing a musician, and near the end, the musician was talking about this quote that she had read, and I've just been carrying it with me for like every single day and reminding myself of it. Let me see if I can remember it correctly. Because I have not slept, or I haven't slept well, and so my brain's a little all over the place. But let's see. Oh, okay, I remember it now. Okay, so the quote goes something like this: "Those who trust can do so patiently." And Oh man, nope, that was wrong. That was wrong. Let me go find it. Okay, I actually found it because I was definitely gonna get that wrong. So it goes, those who trust can afford to wait, and they can afford to wait patiently. I love that quote. And I have been rewriting it over and over and over again and reminding myself of it over and over and over again because it's so true. When we grip and we push and we try to rush things out, and because we're feeling like we're running out of time somehow or that we're behind everyone else, that doesn't produce our best work. It doesn't produce our most honest work. Good work can come from it, but I feel as if it's more frantic, and that energy is seen through the work. And so I always have this fear of not getting the work out in time before like I die. And so that is very much ego talking, I believe. That is very much, me wanting to get my words out there and make a difference. But I keep forgetting that the biggest difference that's being made is in my practice, is in actually sitting down and writing and crafting the story from a place that is deep within, like deep inside myself, rather than trying to push it out so that other people can see it. Like, yes, I want you to read it. Yes, I want you to experience the magic that I feel whenever I sit down and there's like a really good writing day and I feel connected to these characters. But that's going to happen. It's going to happen. I just have to trust that it's going to happen in its own time frame, and that rushing it is not actually going to produce like anything better. If anything, it's going to hinder the work. And so, yeah, I'm just carrying that around with me, and I hope that that quote inspires you the way that it has inspired me. And I guess I'll see you at the end of the month or sometime in between if I start picking up the writing page. Otherwise, I'll just be saying like, no writing got done. That's it. Brittany here. It's currently July 28th, and I'm here to tell you that absolutely zero writing got done this month. And you know what? I don't feel a lick of guilt about it. This month was filled to the brim with business admin and planning travel for the fall and picking figs and watching thunderstorms and re-bracing my nervous system. So time really wasn't wasted in the least. Right now, I don't think I'll be coming back to writing in the same capacity for quite some time, and that's okay too. I'm allowing my manuscript time to breathe and grow deeper, and for connections to organically be made as I live my life. It's already happening, and it feels so delicious, completely the opposite of the gripping, not so fun sensation I had at the start of July. So here's to giving ourselves permission to listen to the wisdom of our own bodies, to pause when it asks us to step back, and to trust in ourselves and in the timing of the universe that when it's right, we'll find our way back to the page. Keep shining bright, friend.